Hello to you, my fellow Dark Ones. How are you guys doing today? How's life? Hello to you too, Rennie. You left me a comment. He's actually quoting me. There is no way you'll need more than one stack of these mythic fractals. Ha 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 ha. You thought I forgot. I just wanted to let you know that darkness holds grudges. Like a llama. I mean, he has outstanding memory. Yes, that's more fancy. Oh, actually, I was meant to do this. Yes, we move. So our goal for today is to try and make a rainbow generator and make it function. And let me try to be honest with you, there might be some cheating involved because I have a problem. In order to make the rainbow generator, one of the things that we need is called a rainbow core. Use a shulker box of the right color containing the right colors of wool and surround it with rainbow wool. And you kind of need like 18 of them. So I have been searching and there's no solution to the puzzle, so I'm just going to go with a guess. If that guess doesn't work, I have to cheat it in. Maybe in the later version of the game there is a tooltip or something, but I don't have that. So let's look at the texture of this thing. The rainbow core is gray. So let's make a gray shulker box. And then we need some colors that I can see here and I can only guess. I'm very sorry. It's too small. So let's say it's yellow wool, red wool. I'm gonna go with magenta, which I think I'm right because there's also a purple. Then we have blue, that can be light blue. I think there's also cyan, and then there's lime. So all of that goes inside the shulker box like so, and let's get some rainbow wool. Oops, I dropped it. So if this works, I'm going to repeat it 18 times. If it doesn't, which it doesn't, we have to cheat it in. I'm telling you, I went through all the solutions. There's nothing regarding the rainbow core. Although the questbook does actually give you good information. That was sarcasm. Okay, since it's a different combination of wool and I'm not really bothered by it because everything has EMC, we're going to cheat in one stack. Just in case we need more rainbow generators in the future. And just to make sure that we're all happy with the price, I'm going to throw out a fading matter as a compensation because I have no idea what to do. Also, in the meantime, I made myself an orange matter power flower, but just the one. It gives us 1.2 billion EMC per second. I had 4 yellow flowers and I don't think we're gaining any extra EMC. Yeah, seems to be the same-ish. It's just more constant. Anyways, let us get started. We need all the generators twice. I am going to do that on my own because you have to do it inside the basic crafting table and well, I'm not gonna set patterns for it. Let's make 4 of each, right? They're cheap. I'll be right back. I have set in all the patterns and I have made 4 sets of every single generator. However, there is something that we're missing and that is called the rainbow egg. It has every single color of the eggs, including an arcane amber egg. Well, I set the other eggs on auto crafting, so that's not a big deal. They even have EMC. That's also not a big deal. And the only thing remaining is to make the arcane amber egg, I suppose. It's gonna be 8 amber, like so. 1 egg in the middle, and obviously the gauntlet. Voila. Do we have vitreous? Oh, okay. We did. Let's make a second one just in case. Oops. We're out. Where is it even? Oh, okay. Thank you. We have both of them. I'm going to do some breeding. Oh, it's a chicken. I mean, it's the small chicken. I don't know why they do that. Anyways, I'll do some breeding. I'll be right back. And well, we have 10 chickens. You go in there. It's only 2 of them. I don't really think I need a bajillion eggs. Do I, Rennie? I do. Anyways, here is the pattern for the rainbow egg. Like so. For the moment, we just need 4 of them, so let's order 4. And it's ready. Also the rainbow core that we cheated in. I'm sorry again. And voila, we have the rainbow generator. Let's keep the garbage inside just in case I need to make one more. Actually, we need some of the garbage. All the generators. So one of the things that I don't really understand is that it says requires an active rainbow generator. Does it have to be in range? Or it can be active anywhere in the world? Well, first let me figure out how the generators actually work. Okay, so I want the rainbow generator to work as smoothly as possible. We're not really going for power generation. So we're going to cheese it as much as we can. We have the death generator, which I think it takes rotten flesh. Survivalist is going to be super easy. It's just coal. Furnace is more or less the same. And then there's an overclocker one, which is again more or less the same, meaning that either it's a mob drop or it has EMC. Another thing which has EMC is the pink generator. Then we have the ender generator, which takes ender pearls. Frosty one requires ice, it has EMC. Culinary generator also takes food, which has EMC, right? Right. Then we have the TNT dude, which is not amazing. We put you here. We need some sort of a dragon breath. We need potions. We need enchanted books. And another one which works with milk and slimes and nether stars. That's it, right? I think this is going to be one of the simplest things that we can automate if we don't really want it to run constantly. But now let us try to figure things out. I do have a refined EMC link exporting coal, so that operates 3 of the generators. And their buffer is full, so yeah, they're not really functioning. Then we have the death generator, which requires something from a mob, and I'm going to use bones. The problem with mob drops in this mod pack is that they don't really have EMC. None of them. I think apart from ender pearls. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to export bones inside an interface, and hopefully it's not even 16 blocks, so we can link it to a phantom face. So if I export the bones, that should go in you, hopefully. Yeah. Does it poison you? Spectre of death. What? That's weird, but okay. Also, the generators have to be functioning for the rainbow generator to function, so let's add a conduit. And I guess 1 energy trash. That makes sense, I think. So 4 of them are operational. That's good. So as I have already mentioned, some of the things do have EMC, like ender pearls, pink dye, I guess any sort of ice will do, and bacon. Doesn't also seem that you need any kind of filtering because everything just goes inside these things. Although you do need to have speed upgrades. Yeah, now these guys are also working as well. Hello? Oh, hi. They scared me. It's nighttime. They spawn here. They do that. Wait, the ender generator doesn't take ender pearls? It does. Oh, okay, it's just a speed limit on the conduits. We can fix that. Up to a certain point, it's actually not something super fancy. You just need to provide some resources to some generators, right? So here I have lava, here I have redstone and lava, and here I have dragon's breath, as well as gunpowder. And you see, all of them have something in them except 2 of them. One of them is the potion generator, which I just put 2 potions. And the other one is the disenchantment one, which requires enchanted books. However, these things are a teeny tiny bit loud, but they can be manipulated with redstone. So what I have done is like so. I have structured ducts from thermodynamics, and I have made some redstone relays. I just have to make sure that all of them should go on output, because you know, we're sending a signal to the machine, so this one has to be output. And then for the moment, I think we can just have a lever here, like so. If I flick it, everything should be on. Good. So let's fix these 2. As I have already mentioned, we want to keep this thing a bit simple. The level of the enchanted book that you put inside the disenchanted generator matters. The higher the level is, the longer it's going to take. And well, we have something that we can super enchant. Electrodes. It's enchantment 250. So let's do some disenchantment using souls. I like souls. Or the other way around. So I don't understand if it's like sharpness 5, it takes longer. 250, I'm not sure. It takes 10 days, 3 hours, 26 minutes and 15 seconds. Well, it does work. As for the potions themselves, we're gonna cheat. In our mob farm, which yeah, it's this way, we do get some treasure bags from Thaumcraft. Each one of them gives you like 5 potions, and the best potions that you can get are lingering potions. They last the longest, obviously. And well, guess what? They do actually give you lingering potions. Together with a ton of other garbage, obviously. You see? We're getting tons of potions. And some of them are actually lingering, which is important. It's just that you also get a ton of garbage. Primordial pearl? That's not a garbage. So in like 2 minutes and without creating any lag, we have these mini potions. I also might have thrown some of them away by accident. But let's see if it works. Okay, it does. How much does it make? And that's one of the problems. This is why I don't want it to run. It's 25 million RF. That's actually not that bad. It's just loud. I don't like loud. So stone burnt inside the resonator, if a rainbow generator is running, should give us the rainbow stone. Right now the generator is off, so we're not getting anything. And if I turn everything on, are we getting something? Oh yeah, we're out of GP. Somebody once told me that you can make a creative mill from extra utilities, and yes, that is very true. I just don't know how to make a creative essence, because it doesn't have a recipe and it doesn't drop for anything, and there's no quest for it. Because duping it is just fine. I have so much insanium. I just don't know how to get the first one. But yeah, we have the rainbow block. 2 of them. What if we give you 2 speed upgrades? GP is fine? It's fine. I need way more GP, I'm aware of that. But this is kind of cool. Not surprisingly amazing, but cool. So again, why did I need that? Ah, okay. Perfected gem of the cosmos. And I just need the one. But the rainbow stone I actually do need a lot. It's used for making the infinity ingot, and we do need quite a bit. Also, how are the potions? They're doing fine. What the? These jerks. Let's fix this place. So I'm not an engineer, but I have been told that I have a corrupted library down there, and that is causing mobs to spawn. Well, not the library itself, maybe some of its blocks. That one? I had one in a compact machine, and that never caused the problem because mobs don't spawn there. I think we can just use half slabs. That should fix it somehow. Let's wait and see if this thing works. There is another item that we're missing for the perfected gem of the cosmos, and that is the Tennessine gem. So we just need lumps, and it has to go inside the infernal furnace. I got something. That's grains of infinity. Oh, yes, the gem. So for our purpose, we just need 4 at this very moment, which we have it. But later on, we also need it for the definer. Oh, I know you don't want to see the definer. I don't want to see it either, but it's off the list. Stable. A gas that I don't know, which requires something called everlasting fosser? Make 4 of these. Oh, thank you, finally. A decent tooltip. But this is a bit complicated. Basically what we have to do is to put liquid starlight as well as life essence inside the fusion reactor, and it gives us sideral life essence. I don't want to do that, because there is something way better, linear plasma accelerator. It's a fusion reactor, but it does everything 10 times faster, and it kind of looks nice. So let's make it. We need 74 salt reactor frame. I have it. Okay. Why did I order that much? Because it was cheap. Never mind. We need superconductor cable, which I don't have. Oh, I do. I don't know. Give me 90. That's also cheap. Oh, wait a minute. That's the superconductor. This is the cable. There's a difference. This linear plasma accelerator is incredibly cheap. Well, at least at this stage of the game. We had almost every component on auto-crafting. I just had to set patterns for the plasma injector and the collider. And that's it. Ultimate energy input hatch. Oh, that's ludicrous. Okay, we go with ultimate. So this guy is not crossing any chunk boundaries, but there is a problem with it. But if you want to actually automate it, not the way that I want to do that, you're gonna miss one block. Because you need to input something into this, so that's one block. And then you need to input into this guy, that's another block. So this could have been 13 blocks tall, and it would have fitted within one chunk with the automation. But I don't design these things, so nobody asks me. Let us get the fluids that we want. I don't think you spawned here. Maybe on there. I'm just gonna fill it in with acid. Not exactly sure, but that is life essence. That is liquid starlight. And you should do something. You are doing something. Sideral life essence. Perfect. Well, let's get a tank. A good tank. Because I think what we're going to do is that we're just gonna make a bunch and then use it for another fluid. Life essence production is garbage. But that's fine. We need 400,000 buckets, right? In order to craft 4 of these things. But we also need a neutron compressor. Lawrencium, oh boy. That brings up another multi-block. Also, you're not chunk loaded. How do we do that? It's here. Now it's loaded. We're going to make another reactor and put it in there. Then we will never need fission reactors ever again. Okay, so it's been an hour later. I have been just looking at recipes and that's it. And just adding an acid pool. Because it looks nice. But I have a problem. So for you, literally a few seconds ago, we made something called a linear plasma accelerator. It's a fusion reactor, but it works way faster, right? Which is a good thing. However, if you notice, we have 2 fission reactors here. And if I fly for, I don't know, around 500 blocks, we have 12 more over here. I think. Actually, 20 more over here. So this setup is actually not that efficient because, well, it's incredibly slow. And yeah, you might notice that all of them are offline now. I am no longer chunk loading it and none of the reactors are running. And the reason for that is very simple, because yes, there is a multi-block for a fusion reactor, there is also a multi-block for fission reactors. And that thing is called 2-phase fission reactor. So if you want to burn 4 fuels, it takes 1 second. Operating it is not going to be that difficult, we already have most of the items that we need, however, crafting it is another story. The blocks that we need in order to make this guy are incredibly expensive. Well, not the blocks themselves, because it doesn't need anything, except the things that we're missing. Heat exchanger shell. I hate this version of applied energy sticks. The second that one thing is not chunk loaded, it reboots the entire system. In normal applied energy sticks, it doesn't do that. So either you have to remove all the cables here or chunk load everything. We chunk load everything. Then I'll blow it up. Anyways, yes, heat exchanger, so this is not that bad. There is another block called heatsink vessel, which requires thermoconductive alloy heat exchanger tube from a mod whose name I shall not mention, and that's the recipe for it. It does get a teeny tiny bit better. I don't even know where to start. So why do I need to do that? Well, in order to finish the next quest, which is another dimension, Dintos, or whatever, I need the perfected gem of the cosmos, and I just need the one. Literally the one. And that thing requires the everlasting blah, stable blah, sidereal life essence, which we just got. But to craft it, you need a neutronium compressor, which requires lawrencium 262. That comes from Her. Her requires nobelium. Nobelium requires AMFM. That requires fermium. The previous one requires different isotopes of fermium. Then you need something called LEES, which requires Einsteinium. And Einsteinium comes from something else, unholy radioactive mix. So technically speaking, finishing this one quest is like finishing an entire modpack. So where do we start? I don't know. I think the first thing that we're going to start with is going to be fixing life essence. Sounds weird, I know, but I need it for so many things. There is something called Eldritch Blood Slime. Every 5 seconds you get 1 bucket. That's garbage. Why do you even have that? Well, there used to be something called an agonizer. We can craft that one. And let me see if I can increase my life essence production. It has been such a long time that we have been playing this mod pack that I have absolutely no idea how my second altar is getting blood. I mean, it's getting life essence from somewhere. But I don't know where that somewhere is. But anyways, we're going to have 4 digital mob agonizers, and we have 4 Ender Dragon data models, self-aware. And I just remembered there is a trick to this, so it doesn't work on its own, we need to give it Twilight Matter. I mean, it does work like this, but if you give it Twilight Matter, it's going to accelerate everything. Although there is a chance that we don't really have to. One of the things that you might notice is that the altar is full, but the tank is not getting full. That is because this is a very garbage altar. It does have displacement runes, but we need more acceleration runes. If it does make any sense, we want to accelerate the displacement, which means transferring the blood. Okay, so the way that the blood altar works with the digital agonizer is like so. The more runes of sacrifice that you have, the more blood you're going to get. So I have also converted this altar to a tier 6 and, well, I'm adding more runes of sacrifice. Also, the acceleration rule is going to reduce the operations of the altar by 1 tick. So you can have a maximum of 19 of them, but I'm just going to use 8. So instead of doing the operation every 20 ticks, it's going to do that every 12 ticks. Yeah, you see? This is working a bit faster. And I guess for the rest, we just go with capacity. Why not? Maybe a bit more acceleration. It's just that we're consuming a lot of blood, that's the problem. But yeah, for the moment it works. I can live with this. Yeah, I went a bit crazy. I added more runes of sacrifice, capacity, augmented capacity, and also acceleration runes, so the tank is always full. And the most important thing is that the altar is also always full. So, however, now that we have fixed the blood issue, let us take a very small visit to the space station. I should have some fragments here, yes. This does constantly run, but let's also import everything back into our system. We're still getting mobs on those blocks. Okay, makes sense. Let's process the fragments. We need a lot in the future. While we are on the subject of blood magic, there are a few other things that I need to do. One of them is that I need a lot of ethereal slates, I need a lot of demonic slates, and auto-crafting it is not paying off. I need some sort of a passive production, and the only way of doing that is that I need 5 blood altars. It's true, not all of them have to be max sized, but symmetry is important. And if you're wondering what the hell am I doing, the problem is that I need so much real estate that, well, we need to expand that way. It's the only semi-flat area I found, but we do need to flatten it out further because I need to fit 5 blood altars here. Not even sure if I have enough dirt. So I started working on the altars. It's not that difficult. As soon as you get the blocks, these ones have EMC. And my dearest friend Lord Armitage once told me that blood altars can share a wall. Well, it's not technically a wall, it's just 2 of the columns. You will save a lot of space, it's just that I'm actually not sure if he's right. I mean, he's probably right, but let's check. That is a tier 6. That is a tier 6. So therefore, thank you, Lord Armitage. A bit of time later and I have finished the altars. Well, I just finished the shells. However, one of the things that you might notice is that our base is getting a bit big and a bit out of control. I was confused, I always forget that thing is there. We don't actually need that anymore, now that we have been to Vitea. So I don't really have that much space to expand. One of them can be here. We can just drain out the water and maybe a bit of this area, this forest over here, and that small hill. So I thought to myself that maybe one of the most important things that I should do is that we have to move our base, you know, our terminal, to a more central location. So we're going to move into the Senate. Prince Thomas agrees. Lady Linda also agrees. And Lord Traverse of Darkness is also fine with that. That's my chair. How dare you? Don't sit on my chair. Yes, as I was saying, we're going to transfer the terminals over here. I can't chunk load everything. I mean, yeah, you can chunk load like 1000 chunks, but I don't think that's really great for your performance. I have transferred the interfaces and we have access to our applied energy system over here, and also everything is chunk loaded. Well, this one chunk. However, if you guys remember, a few episodes ago, we got into a teeny tiny bit of lazy AE2 and we made these things. The level maintainers. I was very happy that I have them, but they don't work. Instead of crafting the items in the numbers that you want, I forgot it does that. Yes, as I was saying, instead of crafting the items in the badges that you specify, it just crafts them one by one. Do I need my storage monitors back? Yeah, a bit of coloring isn't that bad. Oops. I have holes. Another thing is that constantly crafting runes is gonna take a tremendous amount of blood. So I'm exporting the Twilight Forest matter into an ender chest, and that should give us a boost. Well, I'm not exporting it yet. Now we're exporting it. I have installed the digital mob agonizers. We have the Ender Dragon data model inside each and every one of them, and they're all self-aware. And yeah, it's a bit of an overkill, but what can you do? I don't want to change this setup ever again. So the question is, why aren't we getting blood? Because that's a rune of sacrifice and it's valid? Okay, yeah, the reason that we were not getting blood was that the capacity was not enough to accept the blood. Each one of them makes 20 buckets of blood. Good to know. At least we know the system works. I guess what I'm doing is fairly easy to understand. I'm exporting stone using an EMC link. It goes into the altar. Once it is converted into blank slates, I have a filter, and we're going to send it back into our system. This is going to take a crazy amount of time because we don't have a single speed rune. But let me set filters for every single one. That was blank slates, and it will be reinforced, imbued, demonic, and ethereal. I have installed everything, I have set up the filters, and so far we just got our first batch of blank slates. Actually, the second batch, and we got our first batch of reinforced. Imbued is being prepared. There could be a hiccup with the filtering, but other than that, the system seems to work. And I'm also slowly installing upgrades for the blood altars. I'm actually waiting for some more imbued slate. Another thing is that I have a feeling that these runes of sacrifice have a diminishing return. Because you see, this guy has a ton of runes of sacrifice, right? Well, 31 to be exact, and we're only generating 29 buckets of blood for each one of these guys. But this one, which has only 12 runes of sacrifice, gives us 6 buckets less. So I don't really know. Somewhere down the line, it seems that you get diminishing returns. So on the shared wall, I don't think I'm going to use runes of sacrifice anyways because they're incredibly cheap. We will put runes of augmented capacity. Those are more expensive. That's actually the only thing that I'm waiting for. It has been a while since I have installed this setup and I haven't got my imbued slate. The further you go down the line, the longer it's going to take. Ethereal slate takes the longest. And you need it in order to craft so many things, including this guy, the demonic mana stone. Did you finish with the imbued? Oh yeah. Uh-oh. Some problems. I'm a bit tired. I could have missed an input, output, a color, a filter or something. But yeah, we have our imbued. That is 64 runes of capacity. And can I have 64 augmented capacity? Buckets. Just make buckets. Yeah, we're good. So we can break this one. And you know, switch everything. 100 buckets of capacity. We need more runes of capacity, but this is working fine. All the altars are complete, all of them are functional, and we are getting slates at a decent fast rate. The reason that I needed slates the most was because of something called a dream cluster. I have just ordered 100 of them, and I think each one of them requires like 6 slates. We're missing the impetus gem. Yes, I'm making it. Now we can order 100 more, right? Cool. Having to wait for this to be crafted takes ages. However, we still need to progress. It's getting full, right? Yeah. Unholy radioactive mix. So in our base over here, I don't know if it has a name or not, I have set up a molten salt reactor. I followed this design in order to get some Einsteinium. We need redstone NaK, we need the gold, and I think it's NaK alloy? That should be the raw one, right? We will see, I have filters. Yeah, we're getting all the garbage, which is good. And if I turn the reactor on, the heat is fine. And what we are waiting for is some Einsteinium, yes. 45 millibuckets. It's not that bad, we don't need that much. I don't know actually. Normally one of the things that we have to do is that whenever we're getting hot coolants, we have to cool them down. I watched the tutorial from the mod developer and I didn't understand a thing. So I'm just gonna avoid them. Because the only thing I'm interested in is just the Einsteinium, which we're getting it in a tank. That has to go inside an electrolyzer and we get two different isotopes, 253 and 254. And if we crystallize them, well, we can make the fuel. Is that a quest? Probably not, but that is the fuel that we want. Oh, that is a quest, okay. It's not a very hyper-efficient setup, but at least it works. I guess we will let it run for a while. We need a bit of Einsteinium. Just in case you're confused as to what I'm trying to do, well, basically what I need to do is to make a huge chain of fission reactors, like this one that we have over here, in order to get something called Lawrencium 262. This setup that you see over here is perfectly fine to do everything that I want, even for getting Lawrencium. You see, even the Einsteinium that we got goes inside this reactor. The problem with this setup is that it is a passive setup, so it has to run constantly. If you want to autocraft with this and you want, I don't know, Californium 250, you have to wait half an hour. Maybe less, but you get the gist. This is not something that we can autocraft with. On the other hand, there is this multi-block, the two-phase fission reactor. It does burn up the fuel and give you the depleted version every second, so that's amazing and that can be used for autocrafting. However, in order to get it, I'm missing a bunch of stuff. For example, heatsink vessel. We don't really need that many of them, impetus drainer is fine, but this one is not. Yttrium Ruthenium cluster and Krypton capture, and so on and so forth. This yttrium thing is actually quite solvable because we found something on Mirmex. There was a fluid and I picked up 3 buckets. That 3 buckets is actually more than enough for what we need to do, but we need to make an infrastructure for that anyways. And it's used in the future for the Molten star. And also you need the fluid for the definer. So yeah, even though I can skip the grind at this very moment, it's better to do it properly. So let's focus on Ruthenium. Zirconium is fine. Crystalline beryllium is not. We just made the one using an emerald seed. And I was just looking for an emerald ore. I got 2. 3, okay. That's actually quite fast. Yeah, 8 is enough. I don't think there is a way of automating the seeds themselves, so we just have to produce them somehow. The good news is that it can be 10-10-10, meaning that at least it can grow fast. So this is a 1-1-1. It's garbage. And I want to try and make it 10-10-10. Does it? Wait. Can I use the comb? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we have the agricultural comb. It has to be unidentified. So, well, we need to grow it once again. I'm sorry. I made a teeny tiny boo-boo. I shouldn't have identified it. I thought it's easier just to mutate a brand new seed. Yeah. So there you go. That is Emerald seed. And this one should be 10-10-10. Lovely. That means if I plant this guy, it should spread relatively fast, I think. Well, we can always take clippings. That's a seed. I think one of the things that I saw in the JI is that you can just do this. Okay, so we just need clippings. A lot of clippings, which is not a big deal. It's relatively fast. It's actually super fast. Yeah, so far we have a stack. I think for the moment that should be enough. Let's get started and see where we stand. I know that we're making the beryllium fluoride crystal passively, so we should be fine. It has been running for the past, I don't know, 30 episodes? Yeah, we have quite a bit. So can I order 100? Oh, you don't know how to make that. That's fine. So can you make me 100? Thank you. Okay, we know what to do. It's easy to get. Now, what we need to do is that we need to mix it with zirconium in order to get ruthenium. And I'm not really sure, but I think we had a setup for it. Did I remove it? Is it up here? No. It's called solid state fusion. So solid? No. Fusion? No. Do I have to make a brand new one? I can. It's fine. I'll be right back. I'll set it up. This solid state fusion control computer is something that we used to have, but I dismantled it in favor of Mythic processors, because every single recipe that you see over here can be done inside the Mythic processor as well, except this one, so you have to have the machine. I just set up the pattern for Ruthenium. Let's see if it works. Can I have 10? Oh, you're slow. Ish. Well, you can make a bigger ring, but I think this is fine. Then it requires bigger coils. Fine. Just do normal. Well, what if I add more coils? Yeah, it's gonna be too big. Forget it, this is fine. For the moment, we just order 100. Now that we have the ingot, we need yttrium itself. That is a recipe inside a rock crusher. And thankfully, it's 100%, so that's good. The recipe goes inside the rock crusher. Can I have 100? Thank you. Just to make sure if it works. And obviously then we need to do some automations. We need to melt down the ruthenium. So there is a melter that has to be mixed with oxygen inside a chemical reactor. After the chemical reactor, we need another chemical reactor to mix it with yttrium oxide. So it needs another melter. Oh boy, how would you autocraft with this? Maybe we should get into a bit of fluid crafting. This is a semi-great change. We're getting into a bit of fluid crafting. So these are 10 cells. And there's also a fluid crafting terminal, which I just made for the other base, and we can also switch this one. Yes, ME fluid pattern terminal. So you go there. Then there is a dual interface, which is not that bad. This is the old applied energistics. It cannot handle fluids, so it's a different mod. Somebody suggested that I should do this. It's just that I thought it's not going to be necessary. But I guess for some of the items it is. So let's do this again. So let's get some of these dual interfaces. We can craft it, lovely. If I switch that interface with a dual interface, and I don't know, make a pattern for molten ruthenium. What? 144 drops of molten ruthenium. What the hell is this? Okay, I guess that's how it encodes patterns. Can I order it? Okay, I can order it, but the craft is not done. Why? Okay, so it seems what we need is a fluid packet decoder. And you just need the one in your applied energistic system. That's according to the tooltips. So if I order more ruthenium, is it gonna work this time? No. You do get the fluid, it's just that the crafting job is not finished. You see here it says use a fluid packet decoder to convert this back into fluid. Is it like I have to take out a bucket and then put it here? Please work like a normal human. Let me fix it. It's been a while later and I think I fixed it. Oops, sorry. You go there. So the gist of it is if you want to craft fluids, you need this dual interface. That part is fine. Obviously, you do need to have fluid cells, but you need 2 additional blocks. One of them is the discretizer, and the other one is the decoder. You just need to have them somewhere in your system. And now if I order some ruthenium, the craft should be done. Like that. I don't know, it somehow converts it into an item which is called a droplet, then converts it back into a fluid. It's weird. I guess now what we have to do is to mix ruthenium with oxygen. I do have ender tanks for oxygen and hydrogen, so let's use those. We can have a pattern for ruthenium oxide. We don't need the oxygen in the pattern. And if I want the oxide, can I have it? Yeah. We just have to output to the top. Exactly. It gives you some oxygen back, which is fine. So let's have another pattern for the yttrium ruthenium mix. We also keep the oxygen. It's not much, maybe it can be used somewhere else. Come on. So now I can craft the yttrium ruthenium thingy. Oh, thank you. It's been so long, I forgot why did I need that. Ah yes, crystallizer. I just wanted to mention to that person who told me that I should use fluid crafting that I'm very sorry that I disagreed. You're amazing. This does make a lot of things easier. And if I have not done anything wrong, we should be able to have that cluster. Yes, give me 10. Cool. That works. And I'm happy with that. Since fluid crafting has made everything so much easier, let's also try to automate another part of the puzzle. Another thing that I need for my super reactors is something called Krypton capture. It's a weird chain, but basically everything starts with a melter or a magma crucible. And what we need to do is to export some aerothium dust, so there you go. Doesn't have to be that fast. Because this one I'm just gonna make it semi-passively because it only needs aerothium dust and that's easy and cheap to make. So that aerothium dust is now the fluid. And now what we're going to do is that we're going to export it into a centrifuge. We get argon, we get oxygen, we get nitrogen, and we get noble gases. That's what we want. So I guess we can have a dual interface and you export everything back into the system. And we're getting them, right? Perfect. Then I need to get some silica dust. That I guess goes inside a rock crusher like so. And now we need a few gizmos. Let's get a dimensional transceiver. And somewhere over here we're making hydrated gelatin. Yeah, exactly that one. It's just that over here I'm very short on space, so a bit of rewiring. And that will allow me to extract it and put it inside a dimensional transceiver. Oh, you're full. It's okay. I have more crystals. So we want this to be on a gelatin channel and we send. We're going to receive it at this area and we're going to put it inside a fluid infuser. I think it's like my 201. So silica dust with hydrated gelatin should give us silica gelatin. Okay, you know what that is. And we should be able to make this silica gelatin. Right? Right. So silica gelatin with Krypton xenon mix. That comes from super cooled noble gases, which is just noble gases and gelid cryotium. I have set in the automations and yes, I crafted the one. It's just some extra machines, as usual. So we're actually getting very close to getting that stupid reactor, which I think we will have it by next episode, because I think it is time to wrap up this one. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Till the next one, bye bye.